Hi there, it's Lori, and I forgot what story I was going to tell, but it's me, so I'm sure something will come up. I've been knitting since last Saturday. I'm filming this Saturday, so 1 week ago I learned to knit. So this is my practice piece. That this is where Sam taught me. Here I was just doing knit stitch back and forth, and then she taught me the purl stitch, so I was purling one side and knitting one side, and I thought, well, what the heck? Why don't I try 2x2? What do they call it? Ribbing. So that's 2 knits, 2 purls, and I assumed, I didn't watch anybody's video. I assumed that if I knitted on the last row, that I needed to purl on above it, so that it gave that same stitch. And I believe that I've done it correctly. Please let me know if it's not correct. There is, where's that really? There's a couple pretty glaring errors in, this is just a swatch piece. Right here. I dropped a stitch and kind of manipulated it to pick it back up. But yeah, so the ribbing's going well, and it's helping me to really think about knit stitch versus purl stitch, and it's not going terribly slowly, so I'm happy with that. I was finding I'm tending to knit stitch too tightly, so I'm really concentrating on that. My purl stitches are easier. I don't understand that, but there you go. And I am doing continental both ways. Now it's really, like I said, kind of figuring out where to hold the yarn so that it doesn't bother this finger, because there was a break right there. So what's the project that I'm going to tackle? I wanted to show this before I do the last bit. Obviously I have tails to weave in. On this side, looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? Now this is garter stitch, so I was just doing knit stitch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it was a square. And she said how to check that it's a square is when it makes a triangle like that. So I know this is square, and this is going to get turned into a bunny. Now, this is the nice side. This is the side that you can see. Well, because I was knitting both ways, well, I just fixed it on this side. And I had dropped a stitch all the way back here when I was all the way up here. And I said, that's going to go on the inside of the bunny. I'm just going to correct it. So that is a visible fix. So I would have to learn a lot more to make that an invisible fix. It's basically invisible on this side. There is one other place. There's a hole. I don't know what I did to fix it, but it's not a drop stitch, or what I did to cause that, but it's not a drop stitch. But again, I'm not going to worry about this. This is for my granddaughter. And it's mostly going to get hidden. And I will once again say, fuzzy yarn, much easier to knit with than it is to crochet with. Much easier. Like night and day. Do I super love knitting? No, I still find crocheting, because I'm still working on this pickle, faster, easier, more rewarding, more relaxing, because I'm not having to think about it. Do I like the fabric knitting makes? Yeah. And do I like this ribbing better than what you can do in crochet? Yeah. I think that looks so nice, that ribbing. And I'm really happy that it came out looking so good. I'm so happy with that ribbing. Again, I know there's mistakes throughout. This is just the practice piece. This is just, I'm almost out of yarn for that practice piece. So that's why I decided, if I'm going to try this 2x2 ribbing, I better just do it. So I don't know if patterns call for 1x1. That would be harder. It was easier for me to do knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl. And if I was knit, purl, knit, purl, I can see myself losing track if it was just single stitches, just because I know myself and how my brain works. So that's where I'm at on my knitting journey. I'll come back in a little bit with a completed project. I will link it below. This is from Michelle Plays Hookie's game. Again, that's going to get hidden on the inside of the bunny. And this is going to become a bunny, even though it's just a square. So I will link Michelle Plays Hookie's playlist. You have to have it to her by noon Central Time on June 20th. Three items from her playlist, and it just needs to be inspired by the playlist. I could have single crocheted this instead, but I'm like, why not actually try to make something with the knitting besides just practicing, right? So I'll be back. Okay, it's all done. That square became that by like doing a little triangle and then pulling it tight. That creates the head and the face. I sewed a nose on. I will add eyes, but I don't have any black yarn up here, so, and I used that yarn for the tail. Just kind of made a little bit of a tail. It's a tiny tail, but there it is. There's the bunny, my first knitted project. And like I said, you can't see any mistakes. First of all, it's fur yarn, and secondly, I put that seam mistake inside. So there you go. I think this is a great project if you are just learning to knit, because it's just, you just get done with it, and you can add the details that you want. I think my ears came out really big, so I'm not sure what I did there, but I like it. I think it's super cute, and my granddaughter's going to love it. But like I said, I'm going to do the Spoony Stitchers false French knot. I will link that below in the description box to make the eyes, because I didn't want to do safety eyes on it. But there you go. I love it, and I tackled my first knitting project. So it's too cute. Once it has the eyes, I'll send my picture to Michelle Plays Hooky, and then I have my 3 items done. I did the flower edged coaster that I turned into a much larger size blanket for her unicorn. She loves that. I made the bee, but I made it in thread, so it's much smaller. I think I'm going to ask her to give that to her brother, since she's getting the bunny. I'm going to say, can your brother have the bee, please? But I have some other ideas for stuff I want to give him. But yeah, so I'm super proud. I didn't tackle knitting, but the fact that I already have a project done and it's super cute, and the fact that I use fuzzy yarn hides all mistakes. It was a good choice. And this project, literally making a square, and then you can turn it into this. So simple. It was perfect. Thank you, Michelle Plays Hooky, so much for the project. And Tackle It is another yarn, Shannon's, a different Shannon than the Spinny Stitcher Shannon. It's her concept, and it kind of keeps me motivated. What is it that I need to tackle? The next thing I need to tackle is getting packages packaged and sent out. I desperately need to do that. I have winners that need their stuff, so got to get it sent out. But there you go. I'm super proud. Super proud. And I'm super proud of how my ribbing came out. I know that's not a project, but that I just kind of figured it out. And it looks good. It looks better than some of my other knitting, actually. Probably because I'm so focused on it. But anyway, thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen? I just told my daughter her hat that she used to wear all the time in high school is now in all my videos. And I sent her a picture, and she loves it. She's like, that's fantastic. This is my younger daughter, the one that works at the Botanic Gardens. Anyway, hugs from me, my potato head. Hugs from me. Whatever kind of hug you need, even if it's a hug from a distance. And remember, you matter and kindness matters. And I've never met anybody that wasn't important. Hope to see you again. Bye.